What is up, guys? Bloodburger here. 2012 was arguably the best year that the fighting game genre had ever seen. A myriad of amazing titles were released, and there was a little something in there for just about everybody. Fast forward to April 2013, and we have another solid entry in NetherRealm Studios' Injustice: Gods Among Us. Let's dive into this review and check out this game's deep feature set. The storied and well-renowned legacy of NetherRealm Studios is well documented within the fighting game community and the genre itself. Being the creators of the legendary Mortal Kombat series, NRS decided to revisit the DC Comics license after the mixed and mostly negative reception of their first entry, MK vs. DC, with the all-new Injustice: Gods Among Us. Set in an alternate DC universe where Superman has lost control of what seems to be his sanity, a group of duplicate superheroes and supervillains assemble and must team together to bring the newly corrupted Man of Steel back to his senses. Injustice itself is crawling with features and modes, but before we talk about those, let's talk about the newly revamped combat engine. Injustice operates on a 4-button system shored up with several combat options on your shoulder buttons. Each character has a light, medium, and heavy attack button used in conjunction with the trait button. The trait button, when pressed, triggers an attack or property unique to that specific character. For example, Wonder Woman will switch from her default lasso stance to a sword and board setup at the touch of a button. Batman summons bats to aid himself in battle, while Superman calls upon increased super strength to give himself a momentary damage boost. Your L1 button performs a throw, L2 will shuffle your character's feet, R2 controls your meter burn, which when used at the end of a special move grants special EX properties, and finally there's the interact button. This interact button is really what sets Injustice apart from all other fighting games, as it allows you to use your environment to wreak havoc on your opponent. When used next to or near certain objects, your character will be able to throw dumpsters, mount motorcycles, and use the background on your unsuspecting victims. In addition to this amazing feature, every character can make use of stage transitions to inflict massive amounts of damage to enemies. By pressing back plus O when your opponent's back is to the edge of a transition, you can send them hurtling literally towards another tier of the stage. These mechanics add an entirely new dynamic to the fight and are an absolute blast to use. In Injustice, there is a cast of 24 DC comic characters that stand unlocked and ready to be used from the moment you power the game on. Old favorites such as Green Lantern and the Flash are here, and accompanied by some of the brand's most notorious villains such as the Joker and Lex Luthor. Along with a sizable cast, there's about 15 stages to do battle on. Getting back to Injustice's rich feature set, let's talk about some of the gameplay modes NRS has included. First off, there's an amazing story mode that clocks in at about 3 hours on normal difficulty. Now keep in mind this isn't Oscar-winning stuff, but if you open your mind a little bit and let go, you will be entertained by its Hollywood blockbuster superhero movie appeal. For the single player, there's tons of things to keep you occupied. Battle mode, which allows you to pick your favorite character and go up against a lineup of about 10 other heroes and villains. You can also spice things up a little bit with different battle types in which your character might be poisoned and losing life, or an assortment of other unlockable challenges. There are also the Star Labs challenges that feature over 100 different scenarios in which you must defeat your opponents to unlock rewards, taking a nod from Mortal Kombat's Challenge Tower. Let's not forget Injustice's awesome training mode, where you're made privy to crucial information such as damage output and frame data for the hardcore player. NRS hasn't left out the multiplayer aspect and has given Gods Among Us a complete online aspect. Player lobbies and ranked matches are included, and from what I've been hearing and seeing so far, the netcode appears to be solid on both PS3 and Xbox 360 consoles. On the surface, you might take a look at this game and think, this is nothing more than an MK game with a DC skin on it. I can tell you that this is certainly not the case. Injustice's game mechanics, though sometimes may feel heavy and mechanical, prove to be very playable if you're willing to approach it with an open mind. The interactables, entertaining story mode, and tons of unlockables to keep you coming back earn Injustice an easy 4 out of 5 for gameplay. The graphics and presentation in Injustice are one of the game's best assets. The character models are beautifully detailed, however some players might not agree with some of the character designs. That being said, the characters do move around quite well, although there are some times where you can definitely see Mortal Kombat's influence in it via reused and heavy feeling animations. The backgrounds, however, are where the game really separates itself and stands out. Take one look at Wayne Manor and you'll be blown away by the detail of the courtyard and Gotham City off in the distance. The particle effects system and use of lighting within the Unreal Engine are beautiful. Navigating the menus is smooth as silk due to fairly low loading times, and the overall presentation is very pleasing to the naked eye. For those on the fence about which platform to play on, go with whatever you prefer controller-wise, as the performance never drops on either the 360 or the PS3. Injustice actually has a lot going on for it in the looks department. For that reason, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 for visuals. Inside of the actual fighting game engine itself, and within the fight, you'll definitely hear NRS's trademark heavy sound. The players moan and groan when they exert energy or get hit. The sound of the Batmobile's engine as it runs over Catwoman is a smorgasbord for the ears, but really I felt like the music in Injustice was a bit dull. There's really no differentiating one track from the next, and sometimes it feels like a loop of the same song playing over and over again. The audio in Injustice is pretty average, and for that reason it receives a 3.5 out of 5. I dove right into Injustice when I received it. Spent some time taking in each character aesthetically, and once I decided on Wonder Woman as my main, I set a course. Story mode, unlock all the costumes, practice, then get online. After I completed the story, I started out beating the game with each character for all of the unlockables. Now I'm about halfway done with that right now, and after about 8 hours of gameplay total, I'm loving the game. NetherRealm Studios is old school. They take care of you in the sense that you have to work to unlock every unlockable and see everything that the game has to offer. 8 hours in, and I haven't unlocked everything, and I haven't even touched the multiplayer. If you're a player that enjoys fighting games, this is a game that you should definitely add to your collection, and no MK fan should be without it. I think Injustice is an excellent value within the fighting genre, and deserves a 4 out of 5. For more Injustice coverage, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'd love for you to also follow me on Twitter and Facebook as well. I'm Bloodburger, and thanks for watching.